very first song was like my friend ish at the time. I'm like, I have a song and I need arrangements, and
Right.
can you help me? Because I know you can do it. And he's like, yeah, let's. And so we like sat in the.
It's all about you. This podcast is about you, your journey in music, and how you got to where you are now.
Oh, that's my honor, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I did read that your the record you have out, or your second EP, is pretty much about your life story. So this will work out nicely.
Yeah, that is true. We are so ready to release it. It is going to be out in October,
Uh-huh.
and we have 3 singles out already. And actually, the one that is um, very political, well, it is my outtake on the society's oppression. Um, it's coming out tomorrow. It's called Great Society.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Very cool.
I'm
Very
so
cool.
happy to see you.
Well, first off, you're in New York. Are you born and raised?
No, I am Ukrainian, originally born and raised there.
Oh,
And
wow.
I moved to New York very recently. Well, ish. It's gonna be 4 years on September 15th.
Wow. So you grew up your whole life in the Ukraine and then you moved out to New York 4 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Well, talk to me about, wow. Tell me about growing up there.
Well, besides that, it's a very conservative and homophobic country, and the mentality of which I really did not like, and I just couldn't fit in, and it was too
Sure.
close-minded for me. And besides that, it was fine, you know.
Besides all that, it was great.
Yeah, just besides that, I sort of had to live my whole life in the closet and reveal
Oh,
my
wow.
identity and find my identity later, and unlearn a lot of things as I was growing up in my adulthood dairy period here. Besides that, I'm thankful for my family, my parents that are no longer with us, but and my friends. But it was tough, man. It was tough, especially when the world is changing and the society is just so way behind. So we have just one life, and I did not see that I can possibly make a change just while living there. So maybe, hopefully, one day I'll be able to gain the power, some sort of authority here, and then we'll try to make an impact. I'm hoping. I'm hoping
Yeah.
because there are
Wow.
so many people, kids that are growing up in those circumstances, and not everybody is able to leave. I was the lucky one. So
It was just something that wasn't talked about, or is it really something that, people were,
it's
were
changing right
totally
now.
against? Like,
It's changing right now. Like, I have my younger brother, and when I came out to him, he's 21 right now, and he's
huh?
like, "Oh, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, it's fine."
Right.
But when I was growing up, first of all, we did not have like any uh Instagram role models, any YouTube videos.
Oh, sure. Of course.
You know,
Same here.
you're fine if you're gay, or there wasn't any characters in the movies or TV shows.
Right.
Well, Will and Grace did not make it to Ukraine.
Oh, it didn't.
It did not. Friends did, and the gays did not make the cut. So yeah, we did not have anyone to look up to, and I started like having attraction to same sex since I
Mhm.
remember myself. I don't know, since 4 or 5, and you go on.
Right.
It's just like some interest, and then once you hit puberty, you like having an interest more, and then
Sure.
all you hear is just like the F words and how cursed the people are, and how, I don't know, just like tons of jokes that are brought up on the dinner table around the family, school, obviously, and
Right.
there's literally no one that is gonna say something against the brutality of the whole situation. So
Right. Yeah. I don't have an advocate for you at all, or anybody willing
yeah,
to
so
chime in,
you,
or,
you
yeah.
just you just learn to like keep it all to yourself, obviously. And it becomes too much, you know. It becomes too much when you have nobody to talk to. And like the therapist is only starting to gain like some sort of I'll say authority again now, when people are like, oh, you know, like my generation or younger generation, like we need somebody to help us with like our mental health. So before, it's not even considered. So when you're like struggling and you're crying and you're going into depression, everybody's sort of like, are you okay? Like, you know, cheer up a little.
Right.
Like, sure, yeah.
Let me get right on that.
Yeah. Once we'll pass like the deepest depression moment, I'll cheer up.
Right.
But yeah, so hence, you know, this drive that was so uncomfortable for me to live my life, and or should we say like pretend to live my life, just pushed me out finally. It is so uncomfortable. The you know, to dare to immigrate, it's like you really has to be something behind you that, you know, just moves you towards that goal, because it's like going in the storm to like completely different, I don't know, island or like the land that you imagine, and just like jumping in. I remember buying the tickets, and that's why I freaked out. Like I was waiting for that for so long. And I've been to the States before when I was 18 to work for the summer program. That's when I sort of like saw everything. Well, not everything, but
Right. But
just felt
it opened your eyes to the you know, New York or the United States, and that's what drove you to move here.
I always had the drive, like probably like the movies that had some effect on me, you know, when you have like Soviet Union movies and you have American movies, and you like sort of like your brain is like choosing what is like um something that you would love to live as, like, you know.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And I think that's what I'm considering is the impact on me, like why I always had, you know, something that was moving me to find a better life for myself.
Sure.
And once I once I visited, I was like, damn, people are so different here. People are actually like, you know, open-minded and welcoming. And, you know, people were asking me if I'm gay in a sentence that is very comfortable, which I felt so uncomfortable. I was like protecting myself as I used to. I'm like, is that the way I talk? Is that the way I walk? What is it? No,
Right.
I'm not. Yeah, I was so scared. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And like, you know, every question like that was putting like more and more pressure on me to act as straight as possible. And I'm like, I have to fit in. I have to fit in. Didn't work out. So yeah, and then I got back and was trying to, you know, to try to find a way how to legally, because that's a huge part of it, like
Yeah, get
how
here.
to make that move.
Yeah.
How was it possible? And yeah, once I got the ticket, I freaked out, man. I was like, I can't do that. I can't. What am I doing? You know, like I need to return the ticket. I need to calm down. I need to forget about my whole entire life that I planned for myself, because it's just crazy. I can't handle it. And for a month, I was like taking calming pills and crying in the pillow. I'm like, what am I doing? I can't. Until I said, bro, chill. You can't. Stop. Fear is irrational. Like you gotta do it. There's no other way. You can't go backwards. You just can't. It's your life. You can't. Otherwise,
Sure.
what?
Right. Well, how did you get into music originally? And is that what
Um,
took you to New York?
yeah, I wanted to continue with my music because I started my own project in Ukraine too. But it just, you know, I was always, not always, but when I was 16, I started to write in English, probably so I can express myself more in the way that people would not understand there. Uh,
Oh, okay.
but I think like, you know, when I'm like learning about my life and why I was doing things, I think that's what it was. Um, and but I wanted people to understand me. and still, you know, like I wanted them to understand me, but I couldn't let them understand me, otherwise that would be too obvious
Right.
talking about. um so I started writing in English when I was 16, and then I just wanted to, you know, find my crowd, the people that would understand the lyrics, that I wouldn't have to translate to. And translation making it so awkward, because then you're like explaining your song. You're like, so that's not how I planned for it to be.
Right.
And yeah, and I started writing when I was 12, like songs. That's when, you know, I had to start expressing my feelings. Otherwise, it was too painful for a boy that's 12 years old. And he's like, I am struggling inside so much. I need to like the outlet for it. So I found it in poetry and music, and never left it since. And then when I was 15, there was my first like a studio recorded song, which was so funny as I'm looking at it back.
How did that all kind of come together? Did you just pull some money up and decide that you wanted to go record a song, or did somebody approach you?
Um, yeah, no, just like started, you know, networking and finding people that are very first song was like my friend ish at the time. I'm like, I have a song and I need arrangements, and
Right.
can you help me? Because I know you can do it. And he's like, yeah, let's. And so we like sat in his room writing arrangements, and did not know anything about it. So I'm like, oh, cool. Everything sounds cool. Put that beat on. Like, and then, yeah, I don't know, like I worked a little side job, and saved like very little money for that studio where we recorded, where I was terrified, and I did not make, again, any corrections. I'm like, yeah, cool, it sounds awful, but I guess that's what I sound like. let's, let's
Run with it.
let's keep it, because I think re-recording it gonna be awkward and more
Right.
expensive. So let's keep it. That's my first single. And then I sent it to all of my friends, everybody I knew on social media. Um, sort of like Ukrainian Russian Facebook at that time. I sent it to everyone, and I'm like, this is my single. Repost it, share it. Oh my God, that was so funny. It was called It Will Happen. So it did happen.
It did happen. Now you're in New York.
I'm grateful for that. And then, you know, just trying and failing and trialing and failing. I was you know, keep going at recording and trying to record and come up with new songs, and like songs that I would actually like make sense structure wise. And I switched colleges, went to Academy of Art, and met another friend there. We started writing together. And afterwards, 4 years after, when I was coming back from a cruise ship contract, because I was so poor, I needed to find an outlet somewhere in the world that's not Ukraine to make money. And I became a dancer on the cruise ship. Which
Had
is
you always danced? Was that something
uh,
you're always into?
yeah, sort of like since I was 12. Since I was 12, it all began.
Oh, okay.
I started doing things professionally. Let's say I went to a dance group that was gathering all these kids and creating you know, beautiful, I don't know, dances.
Beautiful
And choreography, Jesus. And sending us to all the competitions throughout Ukraine and abroad. I went once as a 12-year-old boy. That was pretty cool.
That is cool.
And yeah, just singing, dancing, and acting came along when I could not get into university for singing, or college for singing, because they're like, you can't sing, you know that, right? I'm like, shit. Okay, no big deal. I'll go into acting. And 5 years after, I was thankful that you know, that came along, because it's definitely helped with a lot of things. Acting, it's just you know, unwinding your all the nuts and bringing all the pain, and like making it you to own it and be out there and growing confidence and so many more things. And people are just, wonderful, the ones that are in like this artistic world, because we're all a little crazy. So this is like where you belong a little more in a world that's, gray behind that border. And yeah, so I was a dancer, a singer, not for everyone.
Right. And then an actor. Do you still act?
Constantly, I guess, in real life. But oh, I'm so sorry. This is my alarm saying, in case you missed your podcast, it's time to
time to do your podcast.
Yeah, the last thing I did was like 5 years ago. We had a movie in Ukraine, and it was a marvelous experience. That was the last thing. And theater, musical theater, also around the same time, because then the cruise ship and the immigration, and now back to music.
All right. Well, how did you get out here then? Was it through the cruise ship that got you the visa, work visa or whatever, to come to the States?
Yeah, the work visa was through the cruise ship, and then got here, started the process of, guys, I can't go back. Please don't make me. And yeah, that's how it all began.
And now you're here. Now you're in New York, and you put out a record, in 2018?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was my first recording experience, like conscious recording experience, when I already worked in a music industry for a couple of years, performed a lot, and been to the studios, seen how it's all done, and had marvelous friends around me to help me out with the vocals, with arrangements, with the studio, like everything. So sort of like gathered the team around me already at the time, and I'm like, I need to record this album, first of all, to prove myself that I am a singer-songwriter, because so far I have released 2 singles before, but just like wanted to do it myself. And I gathered all the songs that I had, picked the ones that I thought are going to be good for this record, and we created a record in 3 months. We recorded everything.
Wow.
Created everything, and those 3 months that I was in Ukraine, and then the plane.
Oh, you recorded the record in Ukraine. You didn't do it here in New York?
Yeah, I recorded it there, and then I came back, and then we started producing it here already. So,
okay.
And it took another 9 months. And after that, yeah, we put out a record, and it was sort of, I knew that it's going to be an introduction of myself. I knew that's not going to make it big because it's just, just something to prove people that this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This, ideas that I have for the future. And here it is. And that allowed me to continue recording and writing afterwards. But I took a break, man. I took a break for like 2 years. I started performing. I started getting into club scene, started getting into everything. And then just, immigration hits you hard later. So you're like, all right, so I have a million jobs to sustain myself. I don't have time for music, neither energy. So yeah, it took 2.5 years to.
So how did you find your way back to music?
Anxiety.
Really?
It really did not let me go on without it for a long time. It's like, first I had anxiety waking up, just literally because I didn't know what the day is going to bring. If I don't find, work for today, I'm not going to have anything to eat tomorrow. If I'm not going to find work for 2 days, I'm going to be homeless in a week. So I'm like, constantly anxious. And then once you like networked a little more, and you're able to, find work everywhere to like fill all the gaps that you need to sustain yourself, to survive. Then I'm like, okay, I guess that's the pace of life we're going now. And for a year, and I also met my nowadays husband, and while being in a relationship, it was anxiety was gone,
Mhm.
life is getting better. I came out to my mom, I came out to my friends, I came out to the rest of the world after getting so angry to the rest of the world. I got so angry during National Coming Out Day, and I was catering an event when performers were, cheering out for like, "We come out strong, we come out like when we're ready," and I don't know, like so much pressure in the air.
Was
Like,
that because were you getting angry because you hadn't came out to your friends and family yet?
uh, I
Or
was
had you?
I was getting angry because we have to come out because
Oh, I see what you're saying.
the world is this way that
Right, right, right.
you pressure to not come out because there is just this whole world that is going to be tough for you, at least what they, you know,
Right.
what they say in Eastern Europe, not like they are talking to you, if you're gay and you're going to come out, there's going to be tough. But like in general, you get the information
Right. You
that,
can see it first. I mean, it's not like it's
yeah,
secret,
at
right?
first I was still young, very young, let's say little. I was little, and they were trying to create a first gay pride in Ukraine, and it was
Uh-huh.
brutal, man. People were attacking people, and there was so much blood and so much police, and the pride behind the bars, like they raised fences, like for people to go through. Like this is not pride. This
No.
is a march like out of prison. Like I don't know how. And like you see it as a kid, you're like, first of all, ain't going there.
Right.
Right. Second of all, I need to stay as low as possible to avoid all of that. Like I don't want to be murdered on the streets tomorrow. Especially there's a lot of people like, let's call them hooligans, because they are. A lot of groups that decide to be just I don't know, brutal. Let's say brutal.
Right.
So if they don't like you on the street, run for your life. So like
Right.
in Ukraine, it's like you walking down the street and you see a gang coming, just like minding their own business for now. Like I was always taking detour. Like I know how it can end, so I'm like, I'm taking detour.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention if you're like wearing a bright clothes, or I don't know, anything that is going to stand you out from the crowd just by a bit, you're like, a target.
A target, yeah.
So I lost my train of
Oh,
thought.
no. I'm just curious. So it took you a couple of years to get back to music.
Yes.
Did the pandemic have any effect on that, or like is
Actually
like
positive, to
okay.
be honest, because I had the time to um have a psychologist and find a way to like, I found a music consultant that I had somebody to talk to about it. I'm like, so I think I'm losing my dream because I don't know what it is anymore. Like I haven't, dreamed about it for a long time because like I had a different situation here. And second, I think like I can't not do music. Like I have to. So I started working, started processing all the years of running for my life and changing and just creating this whole new life for myself that I'm comfortable with, where I'm happy at. And psychologist, I needed, some help because I couldn't. I was like, I feel like 20 years has passed since I left. And she's like, no, it's been 3. I'm like, but it doesn't feel like it. Like, has so much happened. I had like probably 18 jobs. I had 6 places where I lived at. Like, I met so many new people. I haven't seen my family and friends. I haven't had that, security base, growing up where you're
Mm-hmm.
watching your childhood corners and you're like, oh, that's familiar.
Sure.
Everything is new. So I don't know what's going on. And that was the time I was coming back to music because I couldn't not do it for longer. And the pandemic started. So I gained all the energy. I was ready. I'm like, all right, let's start performing. I get out for one open mic to like just get my, um, you know, get back
You're
in
bearing.
yeah, and pandemic hit. So one open mic, and the next week I'm like, I'm going now to Brooklyn.
Oh
And they're
man.
like, no, you're not. You're staying home. You're quarantining. I'm like, what do you mean?
Right.
I just figured it out. I'm starting. But I was able to work still during the pandemic, which allowed me to start recording more songs. And we released My Days, which is a ballad
Mhm.
about all the frustration and about not knowing what's going to happen with you later in life. And you just, stay afloat and continue and doing what you can the best for the day. And we shot a music video. The first music video was for My Days, and then continued working, continued recording, having this crazy idea to put out the whole record again and have a music video, another music video done. And during the pandemic, while staying safe and checking on everything to get
Right.
vaccination and COVID tests before, but we were managing to um, shoot a music video, a bigger production for the song Forward. That is also the title of the album, and that's going to come out in October, which I'm so excited about because, first of all, the song is it's very simple on the words, very simple on the beat. Keep moving it forward, waiting for life to begin. And I was writing the song for the other artist in Ukraine, which a producer had contacted me to write a song for this new artist that he's gonna take under his wing. And she's 16, and like, what is it that I was thinking about when I was 16? Like, I need to dive into it.
Mhm.
And I was waiting for life to begin, man. I was like, I can't do anything. It's illegal. I'm not even 18 to like make a move. I have to like be with my parents. I have to attend the school. This is what you do. This is the system. This is the rule. And I'm not able to get out. And I was waiting for my life to begin. And, all you can do is keep moving it forward. You can't give up there. Like sometimes, it's tough because you just can't change it. So some things you just can't. So
Mhm.
I was just waiting.
Yeah.
Um,
And now the record's done.
Now the record's done. And at the end of the day, they, I don't know, shut down their project or something. That they're not putting out anything right now. And they're like, the song is amazing, but not for us. I'm like, no problems. And then I'm like, I love this song so much. Like I keep listening to it for like a year and a half already, and I'm still not tired of it. Like I love it. I need it in my life. So we remastered it, and then I'm like, I think it's gonna be the record. Like I need a music video for it, and the music video, oh, is amazing. Can I tell you the concept?
Sure. I'd love to hear it.
So everything that you see in a music video, which is still, in a very pop world way through dance and, just like a movie scene,
Mhm.
is going on this boy's hello, in this head about making a decision to come out or not. And there's, his fear represented by a character, and his freedom represented by another, and his this courage that is, telling him like, you gotta do it. It's gonna be hell. You might go through hell, and you know that. You might not be accepted by your parents. You might not be accepted by your friends. You don't know, but that's the only authentic way that you can live your life. So if they don't accept you, which might happen, you'll deal with it. You're gonna be fine. It's enough.
Mhm.
But if they do, amazing. You still have to make the decision. You don't know what's gonna happen, but you have to because it's your life. So it's the battle, which is portrayed in a very artistic way through the metaphors, which I am in love with. The director that I found for the music video, Maxwell Gorman, he just brought the vision to life, and we like connected so much on it, and like exchanging ideas. And at the end, it was a marvelous piece, and I cannot wait for the world to see it, for my friends to see it, for everybody
Mhm.
who was in the video to see it, because I'm just like still keeping it to ourselves until the premiere day.
Is it coming
And
out the day of the album?
it's coming out a week before.
A week before the album.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be October 14th or 15th.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's really exciting.
And at the end, we also have an acting scene where he's actually coming out to his parents, and in this situation, the parents are not accepting, and the situation unravels in a way that is very true to the majority of the LGBT community.
Mm-hmm.
But I have decided to put it into this scene and into my art because I have friends that had the courage to come out to their family, and afterwards the family rejected them. And it breaks my heart because I see people struggle afterwards and regretting about coming out and questioning, like, maybe, you know, everything could have been different. And I really just want for everybody from our community or not our community, you know, for somebody who is rejected by family members, because that's something that you're growing up with.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to find so much strength in yourself to rebuild your life and
Mm-hmm.
rebuild the community around you and find your named family, your new family that are your friends, that are so much more supportive than your, you know, blood family. And that is the most important message for me from this music video, to live your authentic life, no matter what. Of course, you know, I can't say just like that in our world, because in a lot of countries you just can't. You have to flee. That's why there's so many organizations that are helping people physically to escape, because, you know, I can be here now in the States and saying, you know, come out, everybody.
Right.
And then what? And then jail or death or injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's very still raw question
Mm-hmm.
that man, I'm gonna do everything that I can in this life to change at least people's lives, to, you know, make it easier for them, or hopefully globally we'll be able to continue changing the laws and not backwards, but um you know, forward to
Mm-hmm.
accepting people around the world and legalizing their rights. So
I love that. Well, I can't wait to hear the record. I can't wait to see this video that you've put together as well. It's coming out next month, and I appreciate you being here, Royals. It's been awesome.
yeah, Adam, thank you so much for having me. How's your day so far looking? Like, what?
Oh, it's going. We just moved to Nashville, Tennessee from San Diego, so we're still unpacking. That's why this room is so bare.
I'm like, this is a nice studio for the podcast. So
Oh yeah. So well, it's gonna be dressed up a bit here in the near future. So
that's
yeah,
amazing.
soon
Congratulations.
enough. But I have one more question for you. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Absolutely. You just guys keep going. Your art is your art. My advice, and I think I read it in the War of Art, which had helped me so much, is fight your procrastination, because it's the only thing that's going to keep you from doing art and from creating things that are coming to you and from the world to hear it. Uh, B, separate yourself and as a person, yourself as an artist, because you can't judge yourself for your art. You know, once your art coming out, it doesn't belong to you anymore. It's not for you to judge. You can perfect it as much as possible, but then let it go and then continue creating. It's going to become better and better. Learn, reference, um, just educate on art that's already in the world. Let it inspire you. And because we want our art to be a quality art anyway. So check the quality constantly, but perfect it to the point where you can. And after you're like sitting back and saying, I cannot possibly do anything more to perfect it right now at this moment, release it. That's done. The piece is done, whatever it is, a painting, a song, a melody, or, you know, a cake. I don't know. The art is everywhere. The tattoo, that's it. That's done for now. And then keep going. And do not let anybody in this world tell you what to do and how to do your art. Be original. That's what the world needs. Yourself, your own story, your authenticity, your truth. Be true in your art. Do not lie, and just keep going. You know, the thing with artists is interesting in this world because somehow everybody decides to tell you not to do it, and then to do it, you have to work a million more jobs to create it. If it, you know, if it's taken to, for example, record a song or I don't know, buy a canvas and paint, it's expensive too. And then afterwards, spend on marketing and getting it out of the world. And if you're creating, exhibition in the gallery, that's rent, that's, you know, just a lot of work to put it together. So somehow this world tells you, don't do it, find a real job, as everybody says. And then once you make it 10 or 15 years after, everybody's like, dude, or girl, or like, you're so good. Oh my God, look at you. And it's, it's 15 years later. So it's taking time. Take your time. Okay. Do not run with a world that is so instant right now. Art is forever or for a very long time. Try to make something that's going to make an impact and not going to be a thing for 2 weeks. And if your art is going to change one person's life, your mission is complete. So
I love that.
Continue creating something that will heal the wounds of the world and help us to get through some dark moments, because we are ourselves looking into somebody else's art when we cannot create ours, for example, to heal ourselves, to go through the dark times. We go to music, we watch movies, we look at, in the world to search for inspiration. And what is inspiration? That's art. That's all that's been created for you. So when we need to cry, we watch a movie. When we need to laugh, we watch something. We listen to the song, we dance it all out. So, that's the healing process. So